Hey there, amazing community. Before we dive into today's crucial Social Security update, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, do it now to stay informed about the latest benefits, updates, and financial news that could put more money in your pocket. Now, let's get into this game-changing information about the $5,878 one-time payment that could be heading your way. Today's video brings exciting news for Social Security and SSDI recipients who've been waiting for additional financial support. The Social Security Administration has announced a significant one-time payment of $5,878, but here's the catch: you need to act fast and set up your deposit by January 8. Are you wondering if you qualify? Don't worry, I'll break down everything you need to know. First, let's address the burning question on everyone's mind: why is the SSA offering this one-time payment? Well, this initiative comes as part of the government's ongoing efforts to provide additional support to beneficiaries who've been significantly impacted by rising inflation and increased living costs. The $5,878 payment is designed to help bridge the gap and provide much-needed financial relief to eligible recipients. Now, you might be asking yourself, do I qualify for this payment? The eligibility criteria are specific, and it's crucial to understand them clearly. This one-time payment is available to current Social Security retirement beneficiaries, SSDI recipients, and SSI beneficiaries who meet certain income thresholds and have been receiving benefits for at least 6 months prior to January 2024. But don't click away just yet. There are some important details you need to know about the qualification process. Let's dive deeper into the income requirements. The SSA has established specific income thresholds to ensure the payment reaches those who need it most. For individual recipients, your annual income should not exceed $32,000, while married couples filing jointly should have a combined income of no more than $44,000. But here's something crucial to remember: certain types of income may not count toward these thresholds, and I'll explain exactly what those are. You might be wondering about the timing of this payment. The SSA has set January 8 as the deadline for setting up your direct deposit information. This is absolutely critical. If you miss this deadline, you could face significant delays in receiving your payment or, worse, risk not receiving it at all. But don't panic. I'm about to walk you through the exact steps you need to take to ensure you're all set up. The process of setting up your direct deposit is straightforward, but attention to detail is crucial. You'll need to access your My Social Security account online. Don't have one? No problem. I'll guide you through creating an account and ensuring your banking information is correctly entered. Remember, accuracy is key here. One small mistake in your banking details could cause delays or issues with your payment. Here's something many people don't realize: if you're currently receiving your regular Social Security benefits through direct deposit, you might assume you're all set for this one-time payment. However, the SSA is requiring all eligible recipients to verify their banking information specifically for this payment. Why? It's part of their effort to prevent fraud and ensure payments reach the intended recipients securely. Speaking of security, let's talk about protecting yourself during this process. Unfortunately, whenever there are special payments like this, scammers come out of the woodwork. You need to be extremely careful about how you provide your information. The SSA will never call, email, or text you asking for your banking details. All updates must be made through your secure My Social Security account or in person at an SSA office. Now, let's address some common questions that have been flooding my comments section. Many of you have asked whether this payment affects your regular monthly benefits. The answer is no. This is a separate, one-time payment that won't impact your usual Social Security or SSDI benefits. You've also asked about taxation. While I'll provide some general guidance, it's always best to consult with a tax professional about your specific situation. Here's another important aspect many people overlook: what happens if you're receiving benefits on behalf of someone else, such as a child or a disabled adult. The rules are slightly different in these cases, and you'll need to take some additional steps to ensure the payment is properly processed. I'll explain exactly what those steps are and how to navigate this situation. Let's talk about the payment timeline. Assuming you meet the January 8 deadline for setting up your direct deposit, when can you expect to see the money in your account? The SSA has provided a general timeline, but there are several factors that could affect when you receive your payment. I'll break down the expected payment schedule and what might cause delays. One crucial point that needs addressing is what happens if you miss the January 8 deadline. While it's absolutely essential to meet this deadline, life happens, and you might be wondering about your options if you can't make it in time. I'll explain the potential alternatives and what steps you can take if you find yourself in this situation. For those of you who share custody of children or have complex family situations, you might be wondering how this affects your eligibility. The SSA has specific guidelines for these situations, and I'll explain exactly how they determine who receives the payment in these cases. This is particularly important for divorced parents or guardians who share custody. Let's discuss some strategies for maximizing this payment. While $5,878 is a significant sum, it's important to plan how you'll use it effectively. I'll share some financial planning tips and suggestions for making the most of this one-time payment, whether it's paying off debt, creating an emergency fund, or investing in necessary medical equipment or home modifications. Now, here's something that many people aren't aware of: there are additional resources and support services available through the SSA that can help you navigate this process. I'll share information about these resources, including contact numbers, office locations, and online tools that can make the process smoother. For those of you who receive multiple types of benefits, such as both Social Security Retirement and SSI, you might be wondering how this affects your eligibility. The rules can be complex in these situations, but I'll break down exactly how the SSA handles multiple benefit recipients and what you need to know. Let's address some technical aspects of the payment process. Some of you have asked about whether you can split the payment between different accounts or have it deposited into a savings account instead of checking. I'll explain your options and the pros and cons of different approaches to receiving this payment. Here's a critical point about documentation: what papers and information should you have ready when setting up your direct deposit? Having everything prepared in advance will make the process much smoother. I'll provide a comprehensive list of all the documents and information you'll need to have on hand. For those of you who prefer to handle things in person rather than online, let's talk about visiting your local Social Security office. What's the process like? What should you bring? How can you make an appointment? I'll walk you through everything you need to know about in-person assistance with this payment setup. Now, let's discuss some common mistakes people make when setting up their direct deposit and how to avoid them. These errors can cause significant delays or problems with your payment, so it's crucial to know what pitfalls to watch out for. Here's something interesting: the SSA has implemented new security measures specifically for this payment process. I'll explain what these measures are and how they help protect your payment from fraud while ensuring you receive it as quickly as possible. Let's talk about what happens after you've successfully set up your direct deposit. How can you track your payment? What should you do if it doesn't arrive when expected? I'll provide information about monitoring your payment and the steps to take if you encounter any issues. For those of you who help elderly or disabled family members manage their benefits, there are special considerations you need to be aware of. I'll explain how representative payees should handle this process and what additional steps might be necessary. Here's an important point about state-specific variations. Depending on where you live, there might be additional state-level benefits or requirements that interact with this payment. I'll provide information about how to check for any state-specific details that might affect you. Let's discuss the impact of this payment on other benefits you might receive, such as Medicare, Medicaid, or food assistance. Understanding these interactions is crucial for maintaining your eligibility for other important programs. Now, let's talk about future preparations. While this is a one-time payment, there are steps you can take now to ensure you're well positioned for any future special payments or benefit increases. I'll share some strategies for staying informed and prepared. Before we wrap up, let me share some success stories from people who've already completed this process. Their experiences and tips might help make your own setup process smoother and more successful. Remember, this payment is designed to provide important financial support, but it's crucial to follow the proper procedures to ensure you receive it. Don't wait until the last minute. Start the process now to avoid any potential delays or issues. As we conclude, I want to remind you that staying informed about Social Security updates is crucial for maximizing your benefits. If you found this information helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more updates on Social Security, SSDI, and other benefit programs. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss important deadlines or updates. Thank you for watching, and don't forget January 8 is coming up fast, so take action now to secure your $5,878 payment. Drop your questions in the comments below, and I'll do my best to help you navigate this process. Until next time, take care and stay informed.